Hello YouTube, today at usbcrepair.com we got a Lenovo Thinkpad E15. E15, E14 usually the same exact laptops. The prices here above are not the right prices. Those prices are for regular power connectors. This is the prices for the USB-C connections. Prices for those connector repairs are here on the usbcrepair.com. And there is a lot of useful information there. I'm not going to go into details. Let me just show you how to take this thing apart and see if we can fix it. All right. Alrighty. All right, I had to get rid of the autofocus. Hopefully this is the right focus someplace here. All right, let's take this thing apart. All right, so the reason we show you those videos so that if you want to save some money, you could just take the laptop itself apart and send us just the motherboard. It's going to be usually quicker for us. The motherboards are out of here pretty much within no time, but when we have to deal with taking apart the laptop, putting the laptop back together, that's time-consuming process for us, and that's gonna take much longer for you to get it back. Now, our primary business is the power connector repairs, power jack repairs, regular jacks on regular laptops, and the USB Type-C connectors, we only work when we have time, and I'm the only guy here who can work on those USB Type-C connectors, and in my opinion, I'm the only guy who can work on those in general, because I got 20 plus years of experience working on regular power connectors, and the USB Type-C connectors is what I pretty much do here. I'm the only one who does it all day, every day. So, all right, there's some crack right here on the corner we use all the plastic stuff to take the whole thing apart, so we don't scratch anything. Usually metal parts scratch everything, but this guy doesn't scratch anything. Now, there is one little tiny catch here, I think. Yeah, and it doesn't want to come apart. The tiny catch is you probably need to remove the keyboard. And before we're gonna get to the keyboard, I need to disconnect the battery. In order to disconnect the battery, I'm just gonna unscrew this guy here. All right, we're gonna set that into the battery holder. Screws for the battery. And here we will try to remove it by pulling on the cable, and I wanna see how well it's gonna go. All right, so it's going quite well. Good job. And we're gonna disconnect another screw here. It's not like I do this model here every single day, so but once they come in, I usually make a video. If we don't have a video on how to take a laptop apart, I usually make a video for USB Type-C repairs. The other people who work here usually just do regular jacks, and if I'm on vacation someplace, then the work piles up. So again, check out the USB Type-C repair, usbcrepair.com, to see if there are any delays. And there are people always texting and calling, so I have to interrupt the. Alrighty, let's continue working on this guy. Here, disconnect the hard drive. disconnect the SSD. Okay. On under like 45-degree angle, well, 30-degree angle, remove it. Don't mistake the screw with any other screws, because that's a specific screw. Then we wanna remove this screw, that screw, this screw right here, two hinge screws. Take a look how this cable is running. First, you probably need to disconnect the cable right here. All right, so we disconnect the cable. Is that good enough resolution? Hopefully it is. By the way, it would probably help if you're watching it on a big screen TV. Oh, and that cable is glued to the motherboard. So the way how you should probably work it is, first of all, remove it from like right here a little bit. Then probably find the back of it. The back. All right. So what I'm doing right now, I'm lifting it up from the okay, like that. You see, that's the glue part right here. This part right here is the glue that sits to the casing, and you want to keep that cable away here, like that. Well, here's the problem probably that's gonna happen. You don't want to connect the cable first and then close the hinge. What we're gonna do now is like we're gonna open this guy up like that. All right, we're gonna rotate the hinge, and then we're gonna be closing the hinge. We can jam the cable in between the hinge and the board. So what you need to do, you need to make sure it's on the other side, and to be 100% sure that it's gonna be on the other side, you probably want to tape it right now, and you tape it not to this connection part, but to the rubber pieces right there. That way you will know for sure that first the hinge gonna go down and then the cable gonna go on top of it. It's really important, otherwise you're gonna squish the cable a little bit and it might not show you the anything on the screen. So here we just gonna open up this hinge like that and move it up like that. There is no glue, no nothing. All right, so we just guide it like that. We got this guy out like that. We got another screw right here. Alrighty. And that's the question. Do we need to take the keyboard off or not? No, we don't need to take the keyboard out here, but we need to disconnect this speaker right here first. All right. For that, I will need the help of another screwdriver, like that one probably. Okay, like that. So we disconnected this speaker, and now it's probably this cable is, yeah, this cable is right here. So you wanna keep it like that, I guess, like that. Okay. And those cables are right there. We lift it up and we flip it over, and we can kind of lay it down. Here we lift up this hinge right here, remove that, lift up this guy, remove that. All right, set this aside, put that away. And so yeah, we got an access to the connector right here. Next thing we want to do is we want to remove this this whatever that is. here, let's see. All right. We set this guy aside, but I usually forget to connect it back. I don't know what it does, but it does something. Anyways, so this is your USB Type-C connection. My only concern is it doesn't look broken, all right? That's the problem. This seems like the laptop. This seems like the jack that's not gonna be fixed because it's probably died for no reason. And the connector looks solid, all right? So this particular thing, people didn't read the website probably. Let's take a look. Yeah, no, I mean, the connector is totally fine here. On this side, it's fine. Let's take a look on this side. Yeah, no, I mean, the connector is fine. Again, that's the reason we made a specific website called usbc repair.com for people like the client, because this is, again, this is, even if I'm gonna replace this jack, it's still not gonna work. The connection looks solid. Usually what happens is if you kind of break it, and if the pin itself kind of gets crooked, that's the reason why you want to ship it away. But in this case, this is just a waste of my time. At least I made a video to you showing how to take it apart. What I can do here, I can test it using my adapter. All right, so here is how to test to see what the problem is. Here we plug in this plug. It's solid. And then we connect the USB Type-C. And what do we have? We got 19 volts. And this guy seemed like it was spinning. 0.36, 0.439 amps. And I'm wiggling it around and it's pretty solid. And this guy tries to spin. You see, that guy was trying to spin. All right, so we disconnect that. Flip this guy over. Connect it again. And again, we got a solid connection. The current goes in. It could be that the inside piece kind of isn't solid, but my take is that this light does not come up. That means that it's probably not even gonna work. Anyways, so that's that. But since it's here already, and since I'm making this video, I might as well replace the connector. And the laptop probably still not gonna work because the problem is probably has nothing to do with the connector in the first place. And again, that's the reason why we tell everybody, guys, listen, read the website beforehand. No need to call us and ask us 20, 30 questions. Everything is on the website. Now, let me show you how to replace this connector right here. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing really special involved here. Because we got the second row is not hidden. Usually the second row could be hidden. Let me show you close up here. All right, so as you can see, this is the second row of pins right here. And that second row of pins is not hidden underneath the jack, so we can safely solder each pin to the motherboard just fine. On the other side, we got the row of pins right here. That's easily accessible and easily solderable as well. So this is a pretty easy connector to replace. And the new connector will supply the enough voltage and amperage to the motherboard, but will it power up? Probably, I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Again, the jack is either going out, maybe that's the reason they shipped it to us as soon as possible, but from what I'm seeing, there's no damage to it. So from what I'm seeing, the connection is pretty solid. So let me show you what needs to be done here. First, I need to insulate the area around the connection, right here, right here, right here. We're going to be using a Kapton tape like that to insulate. Well, probably I'm going to use more of like 3M stuff right here. That's a more higher temperature tape, so that the nearby components won't fly off the motherboard. And but you know what I like about this board is that the factory glued in those small connectors, just in case that's supposed to be flying off the motherboard. They glued it right here. Let me show you again one more time. They glued it right here, right here. So they knew that those components can fly off the motherboard. On this side, they did a double filter so they don't fly off the motherboard. This guy probably gonna fly off the motherboard, so I need to insulate that. I need to insulate those guys right here, so that whatever I do when it comes to the heating up, it won't be flying off the motherboard. So here's the first step, is insulate that connector, because it's plastic, it can melt really easily. So I'm insulating it like that. And then the rest of it I'm gonna insulate. It's gonna take me like 10-15 minutes because I need to properly insulate everything. Alright, so I'm probably gonna show you, there is one little filter right there that might come off the motherboard if I'm gonna use the thermal tape. So what I'm doing here, I'm insulating it with the regular foil, because the foil doesn't have the backing of the, sticky backing, because once stuff starts to melt, the tape can lift up easily the motherboard here like that, like that, and like that. Okay. All right, so this is 10 minutes later, and the reason I don't like to show you this insulation process, because it reflects a lot and people get irritated. You see this light right here? People irritate from that light being in their face. So the next thing what I want to do is I want to remove this guy off the motherboard, and the way to remove it is to add some flux, add some leaded base solder. The leaded base solder gonna mix with the unleaded base solder, and if this guy gonna go into focus, maybe, yeah. So leaded base solder gonna go in, and what you need to do is you need to use a whole bunch of flux, whole bunch of leaded base solder. It's all gonna kick in, and then I'm gonna use the hot air to drop it from the motherboard. Alrighty, so here we have the connector. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flux it up quite significantly right here. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna power up the hot air station just a tiny bit. All right, like that. And what I'm doing here, I'm trying to mix the old solder and the new solder. All right. All right, looks good. Now there is a bit excessive solder right here. Okay. All right, I don't need the solder here. All right, okay. So what I do next, I flip it over, and I add solder here as well. Right here, right there. Right there. Again, it mixes the solder on both sides. Come on. Okay, like that. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna add some flux to the back. Like that, like that, like that. And we're gonna increase the hot air temperature. All right, so we increase the temperature. All right. And the next thing we want to do and like that, how we take it off the motherboard. All right, so the next thing what we want to do is use the hot air. Okay. And we want to power up the hot air one more time. And we're gonna remove all of the solder from the holes. From the traces. All right. So here's what I want to do is I want to add some flux to the connections that are not desoldering quite easily. All right. Alrighty, that's the first step. Alrighty, so here is we're gonna look at the microscope. We see that this hole is nice and empty. This is empty, this is empty. This is very empty, empty, empty. Good, good. Looks okay. You know, let me get another probe. Slightly smaller probe. Let's see. Yeah. This seems like that's full of flux. This is probably also full of flux. And not sure if this is flux or not. Hard to say. Probably flux. And yeah, my guess that's flux. Let me see if I can get rid of that flux just by using the hot iron. All right, so now all the dry flux that was stuck in there should have come out by now. All right, except maybe here, maybe there is something stuck here. We will see in a second. Something is probably, well, no, that's just a flux. Just a flux? Yeah, that's just a flux. And here we also got flux. All right, let's take a look at the other side. And on the other side, yeah, here we got something right here. Now let me see if I could just use the soldering iron for this side as well. Like that. Yeah. I just needed to clean it up a bit. All right, looks good. All right, so let's compare the two. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. This guy's here. This is, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this should fit in there just fine. This should fit here. And the rear row. This row is slightly longer, as you can see. This jack slightly longer here. You see this is versus this. So maybe this is going to be much sturdier. But, and you should see also there is a bend right here like that. So let's put this guy into the motherboard. Not sure where I stopped the recording, but here we are applying the pressure to the top. And at the same time, we're applying the, yeah, let's desolder this guy a little bit. Alrighty. Good job. I overdone on this. Okay. So we put some solder on the top to the connector. Now let's flip this guy over. put it on a pad, adjust the focus, and we need another pad here, so that it will be nice and straight. Alright, so like that. Looks good, looks good. Adjust the focus and put a whole bunch of flux. Again, this is the new jack that we're soldering in place. Alright, like that. And again, I'm pretty sure that the system not gonna work because probably wasn't a jack issue to begin with. But I got hope, and plus I was recording the video, and we don't have a video of how to take it apart except this one. So only send it to us if the jack is really, like, you could see it being broken. If it's not broken, then it's probably not a jack. If you never had to wiggle anything, if you never had to jiggle the cord to make the system work, then it's probably not a jack issue. Alright, so you wanna avoid you wanna avoid bridges. Yeah, something like that. Alright. Excellent. Looks really good. Yep. Excellent. Alright, so we did solder the bottom portion of the jack. Let's see if we can get the top side done as well. Top side is right here. We can't really see much here, but we don't really need to see anything. There's slightly different ways of getting this thing done. Oh, you know what? I need to remove the insulation right now, because I'm pretty sure that we don't need the insulation anymore on this side. All right, so let's adjust the focus like that. And let's bring in the... All right, let's zoom in. We got a whole bunch of flux in there. And what I want to do here is I want to just do little touch-ups. With the small soldering iron. Like that. I wonder if that black piece right here is... Oh yeah, that's a filter. Alright, so you don't want to touch that filter. Alright. Alright, so my only concern is right here. We need to remove whatever that is. Need to remove this bridge here. Because my understanding, they should not be breaching each other. All right. Let's see. Like that. All right. Excellent. Now let's switch to the I would really like this guy to be more soldered, but I want it to be soldered and not breached. All right. Looks excellent. All right, so I need to do some soldering right here on the side. All right. All right, this guy moved a little bit, but it seems okay. It seems to be soldered here, here, and here. And we got this guy right here. Anyway, so that's how we do the power connector replacement on this particular laptop making model. What I want to do right now is I want to take a look and see if that's just optical illusion from the flux. You see I'm moving it in and out. Seems like it's loose, but it's not loose. So every single pin is soldered just fine. Yeah, all right. And this one is not shorting anywhere. Looks good to me. Those filters right here are perfectly sitting fine. Yeah, they're all good. So what we need to do now is we need to clean everything. Let's see, let's clean this guy up. All right, looks good. And let's clean this guy up as well right here. All right. Uh-oh. You see we got a breach here on the top. That breach should not be happening. So what we need to do is we need to remove that breach right now. For some reason that breach did not show up under when the camera was upside down. All right, so now we remove the breach. Let's inspect it here like that. Yeah, no more breaches left. Looks good. Looks good. Let's clean up a bit more, and then we're gonna go into testing mode. You see this guy is fine. Those little guys, they always fly off the motherboard, so that's the reason why you want to insulate everything. All right, so this is all good. And I hope it's not, my time isn't wasted here. All right, so those filters are all in the same place. This filter, that filter, this filter. If any one of those is missing, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work out for you. That's the whole problem. So that's the reason, you know, if somebody already tried to work on this connector before, we don't even want to bother with the repair, because the jack we can replace, but those filters, I can't solder those filters. I can't even grab them. They're so microscopic, and I don't want to spend my entire day, my Saturday, working on trying to get one of those filters back in place, simply because somebody else didn't do the proper prep work. All right. All right, let's take a look inside one more time. Yeah, excellent. Looks fantastic. I will let it dry And then I'm gonna assemble, then I'm gonna test it and assemble it back. All right. I will put it under the air dryer right now, and everything should dry pretty fast. Alrighty, let's take a look. Let's focus first. All right, I apologize, for some reason there was issues with the focus. Here we're gonna connect the tester. All right, let's see if we getting everything working here. Well, in my opinion, everything that should work works. Yeah, let's measure. Let's remove this insulation here as well. And just before I assemble, I want to make sure that the current goes everywhere it needs to go. Let me see. So we got 24 connections pretty much that are active. All right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. All right, so this is fine. And we want to remove that right here. All righty. Here we go to assemble it. All of those cables we're gonna put like that. Like that. And drop this guy like that. All right, fits excellent. Unlike many other laptops, the fit is excellent here. All right, so here we connect a speaker right here. All right, speaker is connected. We connect the CMOS battery right here. All right, we want to connect this guy. And yeah, too soon. Okay, so I forgot about the two cables that I need to connect beforehand. So we need to disconnect those guys again. I'm sorry, I don't have an editor to edit the videos because McDonald's pays a lot better than me. And all right, people are sending text messages, usual. And I will get back to them as soon as I'm done with the video. So if you sent a message and nobody's replying, it's probably... And there's no need to call. All right, so 1000+ videos later. The biggest problem with recording a video, because people just keep interrupting you all the time, you can't concentrate on getting the job done. Okay, that's on this side. Probably have to have this guy. And people keep texting you because they forgot to ask and keep texting you. All right, so here. All right. Guys, if you're texting, just send everything in one text message. There is no need to like write a poem. All right, so here like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, looks good. This looks good to me, I think. Yeah. Alrighty, so now we wanna unwrap this guy and close the hinge first. Close the hinge first, like that. Okay. All right. Okay, looks good. Okay, so we got one cable here. Again, I can't stress it enough. If you think it's the jack issue, make sure you had to wiggle something before you're gonna ship it. Because if you never had to wiggle anything, it probably has nothing to do with the connector. Right. Okay, so here we wanna guide this guy here like that. Like that. Like that. And like that. All right, the special screw goes right here. All right. And we're gonna guide it like that. Good job. Good job. Excellent. Looks really good to me. Connected, connected, connected. This one is connected. Those two connected. This is connected. This is connected solidly. Solidly. And this is, where is that from? Okay, so that goes here. Okay. Looks wonderful. We got two more screws for the battery. All right. One screw goes right here. And one screw goes right there. Okay, like that. Let's put the bottom on top. And probably which ones would I like to guide in first? Probably this way, like that. And me. Okay. Okay, I want to screw this guy first because I want to make sure that the hole aligns fine for the jack right here. And it does align just fine. Okay. And we can snap this guy here. We can snap it here. that. Snap it all over the perimeter. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Good job. Excellent. Looks beautiful to me. Looks really good to me. Okay. So we wanna open this guy up. And we wanna connect this guy in. You want to inspect the tip of the cord to make sure that the tip looks excellent. There is no burn marks or anything like that. All right, wrong side. Let's see if it's gonna work. All right, so we do get an orange light on the side now. Right there, we get the orange light. And if you look from the overhead, we will let the battery charge a little bit. And then, again, this is the USB-C repair. ThinkPad Core i7 is the laptop. And we press the power button. And maybe something gonna happen, but maybe nothing gonna happen. It's hard to say. Because it probably wasn't a jack issue to begin with. The power button light is on, but nothing happening on the screen. I could give it a few more. Again, so sometimes people like to waste out time. They don't know how to read well, but maybe it's gonna work. Well, it does work. All right, so it does work. I'm really surprised because maybe the jack was just starting to go out. Okay, we want to enter the setup. I want to adjust the clock here, date and time. Keyboard works, and today is already freezing time. Okay, November. Okay, and we got 2022. Wow, I'm so old. So here, and like that. All right, let's save it. All right, so the touchpad also works, the keyboard works, the touchpad works, the battery is charging, probably, and we're gonna power it up. I don't want to wiggle it up, down, left, and right. I don't want to test it out because it's a brand new jack. It's soldered in fine. I'm sure in my soldering skills, and I wouldn't want to wiggle it up, down. Here we show that the battery is charging. Let me show it to you via different camera. Right there, you see, there's a fork in the, so that means it's charging. All right, and we got something on the screen right here. Laptop does work. So yeah, if you got exactly the same model and you broke the connector or you wiggled the connector, send it our way, we're gonna fix it. Thanks so much. Please leave a like, subscribe, and you guys take care and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.